All right, so quickly, two quick things about Slack, and let me share my screen. Like I was saying, everyone is going to be inside of their own groups on here whenever I do um, move everyone over. The good thing about Slack is that you can literally you can literally come in and delete your messages if you want or edit them or whatever, and that is very useful, to be honest. But um, like to add like some text, you want to add three. I mean, not text. If you want to add like some code. Let's say I want to add this code to Slack. If I wanted to share that with like my team or something like that, you can press three backticks. And the backtick is right next to the number one keyboard. Three backticks. It shows like a mini editor here, and you can just paste in your code like that. You can either do that or you can use this button here. There's a code button. So if I click that, it gives me like a little box to highlight. And that little highlight box is using two backticks. And you can put like text in between. So you can either remember to do the two backticks or use this button to put code. I think this one might be the three. Yeah, this is a three backtick one. So I guess you don't technically need to know how to do it because the buttons are right here. So you can press this for a code block, and you can paste in your code like that. So the code block is this one, and the highlighted text is this one here, the code one. And generally, you use code blocks whenever you want to write a whole bunch of lines of code. But if you wanted to write like one thing, one line of code somewhere, then you just use these the one liner, whatever works for you, honestly. And to show you the difference, if I click on code block here and I paste in all of the code for the code block, we can see that the only thing that was added was one line. So like, just remember, you have to use the actual code block to add more than one line. See, that one was just the first one highlighted. But let me delete a few of these. And like I said, like the interface is very simple. Like it's user friendly. So, but that is about as fancy as I've ever gotten. And sometimes what I would do is, let me just write some alarm. Sometimes what I would do is if I'm writing like a paragraph to somebody and I wanted to highlight a certain thing in there, like for them to look at, you can just do that. You can just highlight whatever text, and then you can press this code block here, and that highlights basically the different things in the paragraph. Thank you. All right. Any questions on any of that? Okay.
So I have a question. I was just playing around with it right quick. Does it make a difference between what kind of code you put into the Slack, either CSS or JavaScript or HTML?
It shouldn't matter. I think it should just be structured exactly how you copy it over.
So I pasted initially the some HTML, and then it put in initially the heading doc type HTML. Will that do that for each type of file?
Oh, the heading was on there. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't see it on my side, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you see it in my I typed it in the random channel.
Okay, let me wait. You said random?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see random here.
Oh, you didn't set up a random channel? Oh, I guess that's just.
Oh, you know what? There was a random channel, and I left the channel. I think that's what it was. I tried to delete it because I didn't want it in there. But yeah, y'all can delete the random channel. You can yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
I'll put it into the general channel. Let me see.
And obviously y'all can put screenshots, which is really nice. Okay, all right, yeah, yours don't. Okay, that's because you're using this code one. You have to use code block, the one next to it.
The code block. Okay, got it. Got it. All right, so that's it.
Mhm.
Okay. So what the code is just a one-liner, and the code block is multiple lines, right?
Right, exactly.
Got it.
All right. All right. I'll delete these for you. But what's it called it? Anybody else had any questions? Where am I at? My batteries. I'm already on 7%. Let me throw this on the charger. I'm gonna go inside. Stop sharing for 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. And phones on and computers on the charger. Okay, let me share my screen. Share screen. If you see something in the chat. Yeah, 7%. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So that's the answer. And I think Slack is going to help us a lot. With collaborate a lot more efficient and more. It'll be a lot easier. And to be honest, like some jobs use Slack, so so let me minimize this. And yeah, so I created two directories, right? I created the project demo one and I'm gonna delete this stuff actually and do something with this. I created this one here, project demo 2. What I'm about to do is do a quick demo of how to collaborate, basically. Let me delete this again. Move that to the trash. I'm gonna first create like a repository on Bitbucket. Bitbucket. Basically, what I'm about to do is I'm gonna pull the code from Bitbucket, and I'm gonna put it into these two folders here. And then from there, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to I'm gonna try to create this design, and it's not gonna look like this exactly, but I'm gonna create this, and I'm gonna use these two folders to create it. Like both of these will represent like two different people trying to collaborate together. I'll give basically person one. Let's just name this person one. So I'm just gonna say yeah, engineer one and engineer two. So these would be two different people collaborating together to create this or something that looks similar to this. So I'm on Bitbucket and I'm gonna create a new project. So create repository here. One thing I didn't tell you how to do, I think that we should do is to uncheck this box, this private repository box. I think this may have been a reason why like some of the Bitbucket stuff was messing up. So I'm gonna uncheck that to make that public. And I'll just name this demo um, project. I'll just make a camel piece actually. I think I can do camel piece. I'll just create a repository from there. Actually, got to select a project. I'll just do a new project and I'll say um, demo HTML create.
And then you gotta do that branch name, don't you?
Oh, right. You don't have to. I should have did it honestly, because it defaults to master branch. And I should have. I usually try to do a main branch, but either way, it's fine. Yeah, if you don't do the default branch, it defaults to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what's it called? So now that I have this on Bitbucket, what I want to do is add this to my computer. So I'm gonna go here to the clone button, and I'm gonna press this button to copy that. So now I'm going to open up my text editor, and I'm gonna go inside. Oh no, not that. This one. From here, I'm going to go inside of these two folders and add that code in there. Let me that. So I'm gonna paste what I just copied. Oh, actually, hold on. I have to go to those folders first before I do that. So CD to the desktop, and then from there, I'm gonna go to engineer one. So right now, I'm inside of engineer one. Now I can paste that code, and it's here. You can see it right here. And now I'm gonna go out of this folder and go inside of engineer two and put that code in there as well. I'll paste Git clone. So now when we open this one up, we can see it here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna open up both of these actually inside of VS Code. So this one. And I'm gonna open up the other one in VS Code as well. This one here. So now we have two different projects. This is two different people. This one is, which one is this one again? Let's see.
I believe that one was two.
I hover over this. It should give me the path. Yeah, this engineer two. Okay, so this one, let me put this in order. So this first one is engineer one. This second one is engineer two. So this is engineer one, and we can see at the bottom that we're on a master branch. VS Code shows us that. And even if we didn't have VS Code, let me open up the terminal. Let me put terminal, new terminal. We can run Git. Do anybody remember how, which command to run to see the current branch that you're on?
Git checkout.
Oh, Git checkout.
Branch.
Git checkout switches branches. How do I check which branch I'm currently on?
Oh, I actually used it to check the branch. It was
You did
Git
Git checkout.
and then it showed me what branch it was on.
Your branch. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh wait. Wow. I never used this like this before. Your branch is up to date with origin master. Okay.
Did you use Git branch?
Yeah, just Git branch. That's what I normally use because this shows us the list of branches that we have, and then the green one is the one that we're currently on. We only have one branch right now, so that's why we only see one. Wait, but this is the code. Now, obviously, if I was to add something here, let's say I added, let's say, so this one is engineer one. Engineer one is going to be responsible for setting up the base code, like just put the index file in there and put the CSS file in there. Now, let's say we want to do that. I'm just going to add the index.html. Actually, the very first thing I want to do before I make any changes at all, I want to switch branches. Anytime somebody wants to add something to the code, you want to add that to a separate branch. So to change branches, how do I switch branches? How do I switch into a new branch, like a newly created branch?
Git checkout -b, name of the branch.
Right.
Or -b.
Right.
Yeah,
Dash B
name of the branch.
branch name. And I would just name this setup. Just name it. Because that's what this branch is doing. It's just setting up the code. And we can automatically see at the bottom here that we switched to setup, the setup branch. And we can even run the Git branch. And now we can see that we're on setup. Obviously, if I was to go to engineer 2, this is engineer 2. If I did Git branch to see what branches are here, we're not going to see that setup branch because that setup branch is currently not online. So it's like local to, it's on our actual computer. So we didn't push this up yet. So this is engineer 1. I'm going to continue to add the HTML file, index.html. I'm going to add the boilerplate. Let's save that. And I'm going to add the main.css. Save it. So now to check which changes are currently here, I can do 2 different things. Let me zoom out. I can either check it from here, from the terminal. I can run a Git Status like that. And I can see that the index.html was added and the main.css. Neither one of these is like, we have to add these so that we can stage them to be committed. So that basically we want to save a snapshot. So we can either run Git Status to see the differences, or we can click this button here in VS Code, this one, and we can see that these 2 files were changed. If I click on, let's say, main.css, it's basically showing me that this was a newly created file. It says untracked here, and this one is a newly created file as well. Everything that was added is on the right side. In the CSS, we didn't add anything. That's why nothing's here. So to add this to be committed, we can either run git add all, if I do it like that, or if you want to use it from VS Code, you can press this plus button here. If I press this plus button, it's going to add them one at a time. So now, if I run a Git Status down here, we can see that the index.html was added to be, it was staged to be committed, but the main.css is still down here. We didn't like stage it at all. I'll just add the CSS file from here. Git add, I'm just going to add everything. So I'm going to add dot. And this CSS went up here. And if I do a Git status again, we can see that both are now ready to be committed. They're both staged to be committed. So you can, to commit it, you can do one of two things. You can either switch spots. I had to go to a different outlet. All right, so you can either run Git Commit, and then you can add -m and add your message right here. You can say I added some starter files and that with quotes. You can either add it here, or you can put that same message inside of this message box in VS Code, and it does the exact same thing. I will use the terminal though, as much as you can. So I'm gonna just use this. So I'm gonna press enter, And we can see that both of those files went away inside of VS Code. You can see it's gone. So even if I run a Git status, it says nothing to be committed. We basically committed everything. Now what we want to do is we want to add this to Bitbucket online. Right now, the only branch we have is the master branch. So if I go back to engineer one here, to add that, you can either press this button in VS Code, it says publish branch, or you can write Git Push inside of the terminal. So I'm gonna run Git Push, and when I run this, we get an error. It's basically telling us that we can't just push it online because this branch does not exist online yet. And since this is a new branch, we want to copy this here. They basically give you the directions, and I'm gonna paste that. This is basically setting up this setup. This is putting this setup branch online for us. If I press enter, everything has been added. If I go back to Bitbucket and press this, we can see setup is now here inside of the list of stuff. And if I go to the setup branch over here, we can see that the code is here, the index.html file and that main.css file that we added just now. All right, so this is engineer one, the one that created the branch, this setup branch right here. Now, let's say now that engineer one finished that, he went to go talk to engineer two over Slack. Hey, like, let me bring Slack up. I don't know, like, hey, engineer two, the setup code is complete, right? We said something like that. So basically, engineer two now has to bring down everything, pull all of the code that engineer one put up. We basically want to use all of that setup code. But before we can use the setup code, we have to go to Bitbucket, and we have to merge these two branches. Like we have to put the code that's inside of setup into the master branch. And whenever we do that, engineer two, you see that he's already on the master branch. He's going to pull down all of the different changes that engineer one put online. So in order to combine these two branches, what we want to do is we want to go to pull request here. So we got to click this pull request button. And then what you want to do is, hold on, okay, create, no, yeah, create here up top. I'm not even sure if I even had to go to that. Yeah, we can just go straight here. So create, and then pull request. Okay. So now this is saying that it puts some default things in these drop downs here, but this is basically saying we want to merge, we want setup to go inside of master. All the changes in setup, we see an arrow right here, is going inside of master here. And we can even see that commit message that I put, the last one that I put there. And if you go down here to diff and click that, we can see the differences between master and setup, like all of the code that we're actually adding. And we're adding a completely new HTML file and a completely new CSS file. I'm gonna press create pull request. After we do that, now the pull request was created. It's loading. This is when you, on a job, you would generally send the pull request to a different engineer, and they'll look at the code and they'll say, okay, like everything looks good. Like, okay, the HTML file looks good. The CSS file, we wanted it to be empty, so that looks good. And they'll go and they'll press this approve button. We're gonna say, okay, we approve these changes, basically. And you want to do this with like your group mates, your teammates, just so that have one of them approve the code that you put in. So you can get used to like them having somebody there to check it, and that helps out a lot. So I'm going to press approve. Obviously, engineer 2 will be pressing approve. So after I approve it, we're able to merge it. Now we can merge it because it was approved. I'm gonna press hit this button, merge. And now, so merged pull requests. If I go back to source, and we can see the master branch now has the index.html file and that's main.css file that we just added. So now that the pull request was created and approved and merged, engineer 2, the one that's currently on master, can now pull down all of the code. And the way you pull down code is you use Git Pull. Git Pull, pull down the index.html file that I added and the main.css file that engineer 1 added. Any questions on that stuff so far?
Yeah, I actually have a question. Can't you actually do the merge from the terminal? So for example, once he pushed the setup file or the setup branch to the cloud, then could you go and like pull it straight, merge it from or go to the master file, merge the setup to the master file, and then and manipulate it, I guess, like that? Or would it be easier and probably more team friendly to do the pull request and to have another engineer approve it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the second one. So you both are correct actually. So you can technically merge it from your terminal, but you don't want to do that because you want everything to be done online. And the reason is because like Bitbucket is normally connected to like another platform. And whenever you merge your pull request, it sends like a notification to that other platform, and that platform will either send an email out to somebody or like something like that. Like there's other things that's integrated into this system, which is why we want to use it all here. And plus, whenever you make the pull request, you can adjust what people can actually approve the stuff. So when you're on a job, you want to do it through this interface because you want to say, okay, I want my manager to have at least one approval, and I want one of my team members to have an approval. So that would be like 2 people required to look at it before we can approve it. You can basically control who's able to look at it, but through the terminal, it just does it for you. So yeah, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it on the terminal. You want to do it here. It's a good question. Any other questions?
I thought I heard somebody else said they had a question when I was asking mine.
Anybody? Okay. All right. Yeah. Feel free to hop off mute if you do have a question. I don't want anybody to feel like, they got to wait for me to stop talking. Like just straight hop off of mute whenever you have a question. And that's fine. All right. So now we're here. Engineer 1 created this setup branch, and then made a pull request, and we accepted it and we merged it. Now I'm going to engineer 1, and I'm going to go back and I'm gonna go to the master branch. To go to a branch, can someone tell me like how do I do that from here? How do I go back to the master branch?
That should be just Git checkout master.
Yeah, Git checkout master. And please, if anybody except for Jabez, like y'all should know these commands. Jabez shouldn't be the only one that know them. Like we went over this on the first class. So if y'all haven't really been going through it, like I definitely want y'all to know these commands because they're really, really important. So it's Git checkout master. And now we switch back to the master branch. We can see it here. We can do a Git branch, and we're currently on the master branch. You can also tell that we don't have anything here. The index.html and the CSS is not here. And that's because we have to pull the code, Git pull. And now the code shows up here. So now that, engineer one did the setup, went back to the master branch and pulled all the code. Engineer two also pulled all of the code. What we want to do is we want to start breaking up some of this work. So I want engineer one to create this hello part here. And I want engineer two to create everything at the bottom. And obviously it's not gonna look exactly like this. Like it's not gonna look anything close to this, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So engineer one is here. If we open up the index.html file, I want this person to create the header. So I'll create a div, give it an ID, header. When I mean header, I mean this top part, that's the header. And the only thing this has is I won't put it. The only thing this one have is some text here and here and like a button. So I'm gonna go to here inside of the header and just write some text. I'm just gonna write like an H1, says hello, and I'll write a paragraph with some lorem text. You literally just type lorem and then hit tab. Obviously, you don't want this much text, so I'm gonna delete some of that, and we're gonna put a button here. Button, and a button is going to say projects, all caps, projects. Okay. And that actually, I will wrap this button. I'll put like a anchor tag here so that we can go to a different, so we can go to like a projects page. And that's what I'm gonna do actually. I'll have engineer one create just this part here, and engineer two will create like a project page as well. But engineer two going to create this stuff at the bottom also. So we'll have this first page, and then we'll have a project page just to give you an extra like demonstration. So we got this part set up. Actually, let me see how that looks in the browser, because it probably does not look that good. Let me open this up. This is not open this up here. Again, this is engineer one. Let me put this over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start styling some of this stuff, and I'll just do it directly inside of the dev tools because it's easier to do it that way. Actually, I don't want to show too much stuff at the same time. Either way, so we have this part here, and let me. Actually, it might be better to show y'all this. So the dev tools, and y'all should have saw this while going through the course also. Dev tools is here. You open up with F12, obviously. I'm gonna go to the elements tab, and I'm gonna click on this headers here so that we can start styling this. So this one, I want to give it, see, looks like we have like some kind of background color, and there's a picture here. I'm just gonna put a background color of gray. See, background color, say gray. I'll give it like some padding. Say padding, say 20 pixels. Padding. And I'll also make this display flex so that we can start to center everything. Right now, display flex defaults to the row. So right now everything's lined up in a row. To change that to a column, you want to do flex direction column, and now everything's lined up in the column like that. And to put these in the center, justify content center. This centers it like what's it called it, up and down. Now to center this, that centers it vertically basically. To center it horizontally, you do align items center, and that centers it, this way horizontally. And that is as close as I want to get, to be honest, to the picture. So I'm gonna add all of this code to VS Code because it does not save. Go here. I'm gonna target. Can someone other than Jabez tell me, how do I target this HTML element inside of CSS?
You're gonna use a dot and the ID name.
Well, the dot is used with a class.
Okay,
Hashtag.
so it'll be hashtag instead.
Right.
Cool.
Tag.
It was one of them.
Right. So that's
I was gonna say that.
yeah. So I'm gonna refresh this, and it did not work. Can someone tell me even why this doesn't work, even though I just added the CSS inside of here?
We didn't link the main. That's it.
Say it again.
We didn't link the main.
Right.
process.
Exactly. We didn't link it. So to link it, we write the link tag, and then we want to write the CSS file name. Let's refresh. And now we can see all of our changes. All right, so engineer one is done. What I'm gonna do, actually, and I should have done this before I started making changes, what I should have did was change to a different branch. Because this is updates that this person is going to make. So I'll just do a git checkout. Obviously, we're still in the master branch, but one thing to keep in mind, every time you go to switch your branch to add like a new feature or something like that, you always want to make sure all of your code is updated. That's why we did the Git Pull when we went to the master branch. You always want to work with the updated code. So I'm gonna check out a different branch. It's gonna be a new branch, so I'm gonna do -B. And I'll just name this branch header. See, header creation, actually. Right, now we're on the header creation branch. And now I can go Git Status. Obviously, nothing was added. If I go here to VS Code, let me X out these things. If I click on index.html, we can see exactly what was added. We added this link tag here, and we added this text right here in the middle. So if you click on the CSS, we can see that this is what was added. All of this CSS on the right hand side. And let me just finish the rest of it in the terminal. I'm going to add everything. Then I'm going to run the git commit -m. I'll say create it header. Then I'll push the code. And remember, when you push a new branch, you got to run this. So I'm copy and paste that, and that was pushed. So now I'm going to engineer two, and engineer two is going to create this bottom part right here. So I'm going to move this over here. So this is engineer two. I'm going to go to the index.html file. And actually, let me switch branches really quick. So git, well, the very first thing I told y'all all to do was just do a git pull, just to make sure you have all of the latest code, and then do a git checkout to whatever branch you want to check out. So I'll say git checkout, and I'll say body creation. So in that body creation, and let's start working from here. You want to create a body. So I'll just give an ID body, and that body has this is the body, the whole thing at the bottom. It has what I see is two different div sections. I see this first section right here, this first box. And let me actually do a screenshot so that we can see this a little bit better. All right, so we have, that's not what I meant to do. That should have copied to my desktop. Let me just check. There we go. All right. So when I look at this, I see this first section right here. This is so the whole body at the bottom is this one. And then inside of that, I see two sections. I see this div right here. And I also see this div on this side. So inside of the, let me make sure this is next to that. Inside of here, I want to create two divs. That first div, I'll just name this, I'll give this an ID of sidebar because it's a sidebar. And the other section, I'll just give this an ID of gallery. This is like a gallery.
Good question. Since you did the Git Pull, shouldn't we see the changes from like the header inside of here, or is it because it's in a separate branch?
Good question. So
We can't see that.
it is in a second branch actually. So we never merged it. If I go back to source here, if I open this up, we can see it here now, the header creation. But we didn't do the pull request to put it into master, and that's why when we did the pull request on this side, we didn't bring in that code. The reason I'm showing it like this is because more than likely y'all going to be doing writing code simultaneously. Like you're not going to wait for one person to be finished to put in a pull request to put yours in and like start your code. You all want to do this simultaneously. So and that's why I'm showing it like this. So this
Okay,
person,
that's what.
yeah.
Yeah, that was more the point of the question, was more like, you know, how can you see, I guess, what the header, or create the body without the header, to, I guess, to make sure your code kind of matches up. Because once you merge the changes, how do we know what's going to look like a complete picture, I guess, is what I was kind of getting
Right,
at.
you're actually like a little bit ahead. So what I was actually going to go through that
Okay.
too. Yeah, because the code is going to clash. We're going to see a clash in the code, and we're going to have to try to figure out how to fix it based on what we were trying to do. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll get that. We'll get to that part. So yeah, we got these two sections right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give I'm just open this up in a browser actually, and I'm going to style it from there. What I want to do is just to create these boxes basically. So let me open this up in the browser here. This is Engineer 2. So if I open up the DevTools, right now we have body and we have these two items right here. So the body, what I want to do with that is I want to give this a width of, let's say, I'm just gonna say 100%. Actually, no, it already has it. I'm sorry, we won't have to give it a width because divs already have a width by default. I'm gonna give this a height actually of, let's say 50 VH. And 50 VH means viewport height. So it's going to take up, so this takes up 50% of the height of the actual screen. If I hover over this and start to change this number, we can see that, it basically takes up a percentage of the whole screen. So I want it to be at 50%. Actually, I'll leave this at 60% actually. So 60 VH. Let me just get this a background color just so we can see it. Background color of, let's give it something close to white. Let's say it's like a grayish color. So I want to keep this the same. So I'm going to copy this style, and I'll go to the CSS and target. Actually, I'll name this something. I don't want to name this body. I'm gonna name this gallery. I'm gonna content. I'm gonna name this content actually. Content. And here, I'll style content with that stuff. And let's go to sidebar now. So sidebar, and I didn't do the refresh yet. I'm just going to do all of this here and then add the CSS over on the other side as I go. So this one, I want to give this a width of, let's say 30%, and it should take up 30% of the width of his parent. The parent takes up this much space, so this is going to take up 30% of this much space. And we're gonna see that whenever I put like some color and some height inside of here. I'm gonna give it a height of 100%. So if I hover over this, let me go to this width and hover over this. We can see that the percentage is increasing as we go, but I want this to be 30% of of the parent. 30%. That's actually gives a background color, just so we can see it. And I'll give this, let's see, D. So this is a little bit darker in the gray. So let me copy this and put this on this side. And that was sidebar. So sidebar, paste that. Okay, save that. And now I want to style gallery. This one is going to be similar. I'm just going to paste in all of that stuff. Except for I want to take them 70% so that we can fill the full 100. I'm going to change this color to C to be a little bit darker. And I want you to notice like these two are supposed to stack right next to each other, just like it is inside of this picture. They're supposed to be next to each other like that. And the way to do that is to make the parent display flex. But let me first put these styles on the other side before I forget. So this is for the gallery. Go down here, gallery, paste that, save it. Now I want to make the parent of these two and make that display flex. See, and it automatically stacks them right next to each other. So let me add this style also to the, it was content, we switched it to content. So I'm gonna add it here. All right, I'm gonna save this stuff and I'm gonna refresh to make sure everything is what it is. So I will refresh, nothing shows again, and it's because we didn't link the CSS. So let's link that, main.css, save that, refresh, and we got everything here. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say content here, and this is all it's gonna say. Say content. Let me put that text in the center. So that's inside a gallery. I'm gonna say anytime we want to put something in the center, we always want to think of display flex. So display flex, justify content center, align items, center. So it's directly in the center. Let's
Question.
Yeah.
When you hit that display flex, when you hit that box, could you center it from there? The box at the end of display flex. So like display flex, semicolon, and then a box with 4 or 6 dots in it, 6 alternately colored dots. Yeah. Could you center it straight there?
Wow. I never actually used this before. I didn't even know they had this, to be honest. This is like these are shortcuts. It kind of tells you exactly how everything's gonna be aligned. That is very useful. Yeah, I think you can probably hit one of these. Yeah, that is interesting. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, but now we know. So let me actually delete these. Let me see if that works. So if I click this and press this, okay, it adds it. So it justifies it to the center and then align to the center. Okay, it pretty much adds it for you. I didn't know you could do that, but yeah.
That's dope, Jabez.
Yeah.
Shout out Google. They doing it.
Yeah. This was not here when I first started learning how to do flex. That must be a new feature, a relatively new feature. Anyway, yeah, color. Let me change that to white. And let me change the font. This is just me being extra. Let's just do that. Font size to 1M, rem actually. So that's the content. Let me see what other kind of font we have. Obviously, not all of these fonts work. Let's keep it like that. Some kind of cursive. So let me add all of this to the gallery so we can get all of that there. Gallery here. Save. refresh. Okay, cool. So we have the body from, or the like the gallery section or the body from engineer 2. We have the header from engineer 1. Let me first add this online really quick. Right now we need to add all of this stuff. So if I do a git status, nothing's added, I have to do a git add all. I run a git status again, everything's added. Git commit, created body, say content section. Okay, and we're gonna push it. And remember, because this is not there, we have to run this command instead, the one that they give us. So now that pushes everything up. All right, cool. So engineer 2 and engineer 1 is done. I was going to add some more stuff, but I feel like this is good enough to show y'all like small collaboration. What I want to do is I want to start creating these pull requests so that we can add all of these things to the master branch. So create here, go down to pull requests here, and you can see that the CSS is not loaded yet. It's just HTML. It's just like now we know like why websites look like this. As soon as it's done loading, all this stuff gonna look a little different. Okay, now the CSS was added. So we want to make a pull request from the body creation to master. I'm going to say I'm go down to diff really quick to see the differences.
Quick question.
Yeah.
As you start merging those different branches, would it be good practice to delete them so you don't have a bunch of branches just floating around, like the setup branch is still there? So after you merge it, would you just go and delete it? Or would you keep it there?
Exactly. Yeah, you would delete it. You would delete it. To be honest, like when I'm on a job, I forget to delete my branches. And then you get to a point where you got like 50, 60 branches that you got to go through and delete one by one, because you literally delete them one by one. So yeah, I would delete them, and I'll show you how. So you had to delete them here and delete it on your computer, and I'll show you how to do both. You have to clear on both sides. But let me
So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you click that delete branch, it'll delete it here automatically, and then once somebody do the pull request, would it delete it after they do the pull request?
No, I don't think it's going to delete from the actual machine. I'm not sure actually. I don't think I ever did it that way, but I feel like it's not going to delete it from your actual computer.
Okay.
We can try doing it to see. Yeah, I run diff. You can see that the content section was created. We linked it, and we got some CSS that we added. I'm say create pull request, and that was body creation, by the way. So engineer 2 would say status select, there's like say A team, the content section is complete. Can someone please approve and merge? So you'll write that, and then you'll also paste in this URL right here into the chat so that somebody else can like look at it. I'm gonna paste that in here. That submit. Somebody else come and then click on this link. It'll take them directly over here so that they can start to review it. It'll take them to the same page basically, so they can approve it whenever this finished loading. What is this is going to load up. Let me while this loads, I'm gonna go here. Actually, I'm gonna wait for that to finish because I want y'all to see this like in order. Okay, all right, cool. So send us to this page here where they can look at the code and they can approve it and merge it for you. But before I do this, what I want to do is I want to create another one moment. All right. What I'm gonna do, before I do this, I'm going to create another pull request. And this time I want to do pull request. And this is before we merge it. Like these situations can happen where like multiple pull requests is put into the same branch. And because both of these were working in the same file, they basically clash. But we'll see how to fix that in a moment. Okay, so let me do header creation into body. One moment, somebody's texting me. All right.
Siri, play Kevin Gates, 2 phones.
So what's it called? Header creation into body, into master. I'm gonna do create pull request here. As soon as this one loads, it's basically going to say the same thing that we saw when we did the pull request for body creation, where we'll see like all of the differences. And then we'll go to actually press that create pull request button. So down here are the differences. The header was created, this link was added, and we added some CSS. I'm gonna say create. I mean, not right there. I'm gonna say, no, did I already? Yeah, I already created it. I'm sorry. I already pressed that button. So yeah, we got two pull requests here. So now what this person's gonna say is, let's move this out of the way. I'm gonna say header was created. Can someone please review and merge? Thanks. Happy face or something. I don't know. And so we're here. We have 2 pull requests. We have this one here, and this one created the content section, and we have this one here, and this one created the header section. So let's say somebody came in and approved this header section before the other one. So I'm gonna press approve here, and then I'm gonna merge it. So it merges, merge. Okay. So this now is merged. Now if I go to this pull request right here, and if I try to approve it, I feel like it should stop me. It says unapproved. Let me see. It looked like it approved it. If I go to merge this, it should have gave me an error because these files are the same. Let's see what happens when I try to merge it. Okay, you can't merge until you resolve all merge conflicts. So what happened was engineer 1 and engineer 2 both work in the exact same file, the index.html file and the main.css file. Now, since this header stuff was merged before the actual body stuff, the content area stuff, now when we go to try to we approved it, but when we go to try to merge it, we can't merge it until we resolve all of the conflicts. And the way you resolve the conflicts is from the actual body creation branch. So you'll say, hey, I tried to merge, which branch is that? Body creation, but there is a merge conflict. Can you please resolve? And that person, engineer two, the one that's working on this branch, will then go to their code. I think it's here. Let me check. I'm gonna hover. I think this is engineer one. This is engineer one. Yeah. So engineer two is here. Oh, right. So we got the body creation here. This person will be currently on their branch, and then in order to resolve this, they have to use Git Pull, and Git Pull is going to pull down all of the changes. So I run that. If I go to, let's see, one moment. Let's see, Git. Just do a Git branch really quick. We're on this. I do Git Pull, then I put the branch name. Let's see if that works. Did not work. Did we not? Yes. Hold on. Something is wrong. Body creation into master is open. Okay. I go here. Status. Delete. Hold on. Let me think about this. Let me see. So we're here. Can't merge until you resolve all merge conflicts. Let me think for 2 seconds. For the pull request. Something like that. I'm just going to this link because Git Pull should have worked. I'm not sure why it's merge. Okay, let me just try something really quick. Go back to engineer two. You just
I thought
do.
I thought they had something with the Git merge. Brand. It was something in there, like the second header. No, it was a second header in there that had like a code to pull it down.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So
It was,
all the way at the top.
yeah, it was. You was looking at this here.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
wasn't it.
I think you can use that. Let me try. So yeah, let me just run that really quick. So git merge, and then you put source branch and destination. So the source is the current branch that we're on. We want to merge to master. Body creation or something. creation, not something we can merge. Let me just try something really quick. I just switched to the master branch. I'm just gonna pull all of the code really quick and see if anything looks different. So we're here, and let me go back to the other branch that was here. Wait. Why am I using? I'm supposed to be on this one. Engineer too. Yeah, what am I doing? I did the wrong thing. So branch. So that git merge this master. Let me see if this works. Already up to date. Why does it keep saying that? Git All right, so this git fetch, I thought this was going to work, but it's not. It doesn't. So what this does for is it brings in all of the branches. I don't know if I showed you this command. If I do a git branch here, I do a git branch -a, I get all of the branches. This is everything that's online right now. The only thing I have on my computer are these two branches. But if I wanted to switch, I can switch to like the header creation or whatever. This is everything that's online. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, to be honest. Let's see. Let me just do a refresh. Be able to resolve the count.
And do you think it's conflicting with the width numbers and the height where everything is placed on the page?
Yeah, it's conflicting. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to a state where we can resolve all of the code that conflicts.
Mm.
Yeah. We were so normally what you will run is Git Pull, and when you run Git Pull, it shows you like the differences between like the two files. It'll say, okay, this is all of the code that's conflicting. Like which ones do you update? But for some reason, when I run Git Pull, it doesn't work. And I think maybe it's like some small little thing that I missed somewhere. So let's see. Let me do a search. See how to resolve merge conflict. Git. Let me see if it's loaded. Like the exact same page. Resolve merge. CD, Git Pull, checkout, Git Pull origin, destination. And resolving conflicts. Okay. Git Pull. Yeah, this is what I was running. Git Pull. Let's see if anyone has been working on the fourth branch. Fourth destination branch. CD that Git Pull, then the destination. Everybody's gonna tell me the exact same thing. Run Git Pull. How resolve merge conflict Git? Git commit push resolving conflict. Resolve it. Git merge helps you merge changes from developer to before pushing new changes in the file. Okay. Auto merge. Same version. I'm trying not to like go to a whole new, like I'm trying to like see if there's any commands in here that we already went over. Because I know that like these commands can get really, really like complicated, depending on the situation. Scenario. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let me think about this. So what I may be thinking about this the wrong way. So let me see. What I had did was I first merged in body header into master. So if I go to source and go to the HTML, we should see that we have the header right here because we merged that in. All right, cool. So with the rest of the pull request, what I'm now trying to do is add this to master. So if let me just make sure I have master updated inside the engineer too. Git checkout master. Okay, go to the index file. Let's do a git pull to bring in all of the changes. Okay, cool. So if I do, I'm gonna run a git merge again to see if anything works. If I do that, okay, yeah. So I had to pull the changes and then run this git merge. We want to merge body creation into master. And now that, so I'm on a master branch also. So I guess this is a few steps that you have to remember. Whenever you have that conflict, go to the master branch, pull down all of the code with git pull, and then run this merge command. You want to merge your branch into master. And when you do that, we get this interface right here. And this is telling us, okay, hey, we have some conflicting code. Do we want to keep the current changes, which is in green? Do we want to keep only the incoming changes, which is what's in blue here? Or do we want to keep both? And in this case, we want to keep both. So I'm gonna press this keep both button.
Question. Yeah. So I thought you could merge. So when you do the git pull command on the, in this case, it would have been the body content branch or the body creation branch.
Right.
You only pull information for the body creation. You don't pull everything.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, this is just a guess. I'm not all the way sure, but from what it looks like it happened was, let me see what percent I'm on. Yeah, I think I'm good. So what looks like happened was we were trying to pull the content for body creation, right? But body creation was already online and it was in the exact same state. Like all of the code was the exact same thing, which is why like nothing was happening. But I think whenever we switched to the master branch, so the master branch actually did change. And then we pulled the changes and then we did the git merge. I feel like now I'm not sure. I mean, it just worked. And I'm trying to like make sense in my head. It kind of looks like you have to be on the branch that you're merging into so that you can resolve all of the conflicts. The weird thing is that we did it from like body creation before. Like we did an example where we did it from the actual branch. So I'm not even sure what's the difference.
I believe you ended up switching to the branch that you was merging to. But so I guess my thing is, are we able to would we be able to pull from any branch and we like pull all of the changes, or do we have to be in a specific branch in order to pull all the changes? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Are you saying like for the conflicting changes or just any changes?
Just so like the updated code. And so I say it like this: Engineer 1 was working on the heading, right? Engineer 2 is working on body creation. Once engineer 1 finishes the header and pushes it up to the cloud, no matter what branch engineer 2 is on, he can pull the changes, all of the changes
Yeah,
after it's pushed.
right. Yeah,
Or do you have to be in the master branch in order to pull the changes that were made?
no, you don't have to. What you can do, I think what you can do is run git pull and then master. And whatever branch you're currently on, it should bring in all of the changes that's inside of the master branch into your current branch. And I think when you do that, you may actually get the same interface right here. Um, let me test it out actually. So this is engineer 1, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch. Let me just do a git fetch all git branch dash a. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to body creation. This is the one that's online. Git check out this one, right? So now I'm on body creation. It shows us like a like a hashtag thing here because this is like the current version that's currently online. But either way, if I do a git pull master, so let me just do a git branch real quick just to show you. So git branch, I'm on body creation right here. It looks a little different because there's different versions of it, but this is the latest version. If I do git pull master, let's see, master does not appear to be a Git repository. Git pull, git pull, origin. Yeah, I did git pull origin master, and that pull is like what's currently online. It's always named origin. So if you want to make sure you absolutely have the code, you want to not only do git pull, but run git pull origin, because this says, okay, where like let's get the latest updated code. And this says basically there was some things to resolve. So if you do see this screen, what you want to do is you want to copy this command, because this is going to set our configuration to merge it whenever we go to pull it. So saying when we pull, do we want to merge it? I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna paste this in here. This is important. So, you may actually have this. I'm gonna try to pull again from origin master. Yeah, and now we get the same thing. Okay. So that's the other way to do it. Pull master into your branch, but you have to do git pull origin master. And then run this command so that it knows that you want to start to actually merge it together.
Okay, so when I'm doing git pull, I'm only pulling changes for the branch that I'm on, unless I specify that I'm pulling another branch. It's changes.
Right. Exactly. When you just do git pull by itself, right?
Shoot. Okay, I thought it pulled everything, like everything that exists that was pushed up to the cloud.
Right. Yeah. I see what the confusion was. Yeah. So that was a good question. So yeah, it definitely just pulls exactly whatever you're on. And to be more specific, to keep it like explicit, you can always run this git pull origin and then just put the current branch that you're currently on, so that it's like more explicit. Okay, I'm definitely pulling changes from my whatever. But yeah, let me go back to engineer 2, and I'm going to accept both changes here. And just from me looking at it, I can already see that there's something I need to fix. Like this closing tag for header, it thinks that is this one here. And it thinks that it thinks that this and this both have the same closing tag code. So we have to put a closing tag in here for the first one. I'm gonna save that. Let me go to the CSS, because CSS has some other stuff in here too. And I'm just gonna keep both changes. And like I said, we can either press this button or we can do a little different. We can just delete these lines. So I'm just delete those. If I delete those, delete the ones in the center and delete the ones at the end, I can just manually put everything together. So this was missing a closing bracket. But I will use the buttons so that like it's not confusing, because sometimes you can end up adding those lines in there and not like realizing that you didn't delete them. But yeah, that's how you do it that way. So I merged these two files together. What I would then do is I will open this up in a browser so I can check it to be sure like nothing is like wrong with this. You always want to test your code before you put it up. We got the header and we got the content. Perfect. So now that I merged it on the master branch, what I'm gonna do is push it. And to be honest, you should never push to the master branch. So we should do it the other way that we had just did, Jabez, where we were on a branch and then we pulled in master, because you never ever want to push the master branch. But in this case, now we're about to push the master branch because that's how we resolved it. And to be honest, I'm just going to X this out. But why did I stop sharing? I'm not even going to use engineer 2. I'm not even going to use this one because I don't want to push the master. I don't want to give y'all bad whatever. I'm just going to X this out, and I'm gonna go over here. This was the way we were supposed to do it. I'm going to accept both changes. Let me fix this again to have a closing div tag. Not that. Okay, save. Let's go here. Let's accept both changes. And I put this closing bracket. Now let me open this up. Copy path. I'm gonna make sure that this looks the same. Oh, it does not. And that's why it's very important to check your code. So header goes above content. Refresh. This looks good. Now that looks good, what I'm gonna do is a git push, actually git add off, then git commit. We'll say merging changes, git push. I wonder why it's doing this. Sync error. What is going on?
You got the name of the remote origin branch, so it'd be like the head master, something like, would it be master or would it be the F you did? FD.
This goes into hold on. Supposed to go into this one. Body creation. So y'all can see I'm like really guessing my way around it with your help, obviously. So it looked like it pushed it up. Let me now go back to Bitbucket really quick. Bitbucket is here. I'll go here to this pull request. Now it's showing, now the error went away because we pushed the code that we needed to push up, and it's showing that we have the content here and we have the CSS and we got the HTML. Now we want to merge it. Now those conflicts were fixed. So merged. If I go to both, either the engineers, it doesn't matter. I can go to, this is engineer 1. I'm gonna check out to the master branch. And you always want to go back to the master branch every single time before you do anything. Git pull origin master. And pull down all of the code. If I was to open this up in a browser, it's gonna look exactly the same. Let's just paste that into here. All of that code is there. So we got the header and we got the content section. I think this is enough to show y'all how collaboration works. And obviously, y'all saw that I was running into some issues. So if you do run into issues, obviously it's a common thing, but that's how you'll work. And I know that it might seem a little like it may seem really tedious to keep running all of these commands just to save them online, but it helps a lot because, like I said, like Bitbucket, it keeps track of everything. Like we can literally see who made changes to what, and that's because we were using it through the interface. If I go to source, if I go to the index, so right now I'm on the master branch. If I go to the index.html file, click on that, and then I click. How do we see all of the changes? So it's full commit master source. There should be a way for us to see who changed what. Full commit source. Okay, so we do get a small list of changes here. If I click on, okay, so we can see a change over time if I switch this. Okay, but I want to see who changed what. Let's see history. Maybe it's in here. Okay, this just shows all of the changes. Go to the source. I don't
It
know.
probably would have been history, but the only reason you can't really see nothing is because you did everything yourself. So it wasn't like two different people. But last time I used history, it showed me who uploaded what.
Right. We should see it like on the side here, like which person changed which lines. And I cannot find, if I find that button, I'll like, I'll let y'all know. But you should be able to see who changed what.
Because I was gonna say it probably, I mean, I guess it would, but it probably wouldn't because you changed everything. So it just show you.
Well, no, so it came,
But does-
it should show me, but I mean, yeah, you're right. It does show me, but the interface should look a little bit different though. It should say like my name on the side or like my icon next to all the changes that I made.
Okay.
Yeah,
Basically like the history except, user interface form.
right, exactly. See blame history on Bitbucket. Bitbucket have everything and I functionalize. I'm sure GitHub. Let's see. No answer. Oh wait, yes, but the button is not visible to all viewers. Go to the source view. You should use the blame. Go to the source view. It's the blame button, upper right hand corner of the code. Okay, depending on the version of Bitbucket. Okay, so we were supposed to see it. The blame button. And I'll try to figure out how we can see that button. But either way, this is how you do it. Any questions on what we've done? Like the thought process behind it, anything.
We just, like you said, we just make sure if we're working in different branches, well, we always work in different branches to start with. And then ultimately the code goes to the main branch.
Right.
So you don't create a branch every single time though, right? If I'm working on a project, I would just have one branch that I'm working in throughout the entire project. That's mine as I upload, code from that branch to the main branch, or how's that work typically?
So wait, say that last part again.
Yeah, so let's say, this is a big project that has multiple parts. Do I just keep all of my work in my one branch, or do I just, would I end up creating multiple branches throughout the project with my name on them?
Right, multiple branches. You can put your name on it. I mean, y'all can come up with like a branch name convention if y'all want, or y'all can name it whatever y'all want. Now at work, we normally, we have like a convention. We'll put, like we have a system that says what we need to do, and we'll put like the ID of each task. Like each task have an ID. We'll put the ID of the task in the branch name so that we know this one is linked to this thing, and we'll do it that way. A little later on, whenever I go over like scrum boards and stuff like that. But that's not until probably next project, to be honest. But yeah, you can name the branches whatever you want.
And last question. So if you go through the process and it gets approved and the changes get merged, but that was a mistake, is there a way to roll back somehow?
Yeah. So if I wanted
Okay.
to, if I wanted to roll it back, so on here, right? Let's say we didn't want to add. Oh, and before we do that, let me just show you how to delete these branches. If you want to delete one, you just go to the branch really quick, and then where is it? There should be the delete button somewhere. It's fine. Let me just show you how to roll back. Let me just show you how to roll back the changes really quick. So right now I'm on the master branch, right? Let's say I'm gonna do a git status. Let me move this out of the way. Let me just do a git pull just to be sure I have everything. Everything's there. If I do a git status, everything's up to date. Okay, cool. So I can look at the history of this branch by running git. Hold on, git. I thought it was git history. Git git dash help. Let's see. It shows all of the commands that's here. Git clone, add restore. Oh, git log. That's what it is. It shows the commit logs. So if I do git log, right, this shows me all of the changes basically, and it has all of my PRs. Created content section, merging changes, create a header. I'll press the down key, we can see more stuff. And this is everything that we added so far. Let's say I wanted to go back to, I made a mistake somewhere. I want to go all the way back to here when I first created the header. I can copy this here, this hash. Then I can run, first I gotta get out of this. I do :Q to exit that interface. I do git checkout and then paste in the hash. And literally, it don't have to be the full thing. It can be like the first few characters, whatever. I'll press enter. We can see that now we went all the way back to where the header was first created. By obviously, you know, if I open this up in the browser, it's not going to show the content. It's just showing the header. So we went all the way back. So you can go back as far as you want. If you want to go all the way back to, if you wanted to go back like to where you already was, to where all the updated code is, you say, okay, like I made a mistake. I didn't mean to go back. You can do git checkout -- hard and then head. And that, I think that should take you back. Hold on. Hold on.
You want to use force? Is it force?
I thought it was definitely hard. I wouldn't use force. I would never use this because I wouldn't use this command. Some people use this to like force something to happen, but then that can like break stuff. Like see dash, maybe it's one dash. Let me look this up real quick. It is, let's see, git use git to go back to head. Switching back to head. So
Git reset -- hard.
oh,
Head.
okay.
It looked
Yeah,
like.
may actually, yeah, just copy it from here. Paste that in. Now I head. It's not head. Why is it not here? Git reset. Okay. Oh wait, this is not even. So we're not even on the master. So I'm looking down here. If I do git branch, right? So we're not even on the master branch. Okay, we went away from the master branch. Let me check out the master branch really quick. We were on it, and then we went back to a different version of the master branch. It looked like we switched branches altogether. And all I had to do was go back to the master here. So to show y'all that again, we did git log. So I wanted to go back here. I'll just do :q. If I do git checkout, then paste that in. And if I do git branch, it looks like I'm on like a detached version of head of the master branch, or like a branch that's like somewhere in the past. All I gotta do is check back out to the master branch to go back, it looks like. But if you don't see this case, I think git reset hardhead is the command to use. I'm pretty sure that's the one. But it looked like we just switched branches over here on this side. So and there's literally so many different like random situations you can find yourself in when you mess around with these commands. If ever you get to a point where like stuff just gets really confusing, I would just like copy your code, put it somewhere, delete it, open up a new one, and then paste all your code in. Because all these branches can really get like tangled up depending on how you're moving across them. Sometimes it's hard to get back to like the original branch, and that's where like knowing how to use Git like beyond just the basics helps. But to be honest, not that many people know how to use these commands, these Git commands, in any like complex way, because we don't normally use the complicated commands daily. It's only when we run into edge case situations where we got to start looking up how to use different things. But in that case, like I said, what I always do, I'll just copy my code, put it somewhere, just delete the whole thing instead of trying to figure out what complicated situation I need to detangle. I just delete it and just open up a new branch and add all of my code in there, just to make it easier on myself. So yeah, that is Git, and we pretty much took up the whole class with it, which is fine. Any other questions on this?
I definitely gonna have to watch this one again.
I was gonna say a couple of things that so to delete the branches on Bitbucket, if you go to the branch, if you go to the branch tab or the branch sidebar option or whatever you call it,
There we go.
then you got all your branches there. And then I think if you want that like blame, I feel like if you go to commits, maybe that's what you was looking for. If you hit that commits.
So commits. I don't even see it on the.
No, yeah, on the left side under the source. Is that what you was talking about?
Something like this. Yeah. This is a different interface, but yeah, this is what I was talking about. Exactly. So you got the author, you got the commit IDs, you got the merges. Yeah, this is as good as it's gonna get. It looks like. It looks a little different on GitHub, but this works also. And obviously we can click into these commits and then see exactly what was changed. We can look at this stuff. Yeah, this is good enough, honestly. So if we wanted to delete branches, I'm not sure why it's you just go to branches here, and then you're supposed to see a delete option inside of the dots, but for some reason I saw that delete option was grayed out.
Because it's the master branch, because you only got the active ones. So I think if you go to all branches, like in that active branch tab, so if you go up to the search box above, right there, and then move right to active branches, select all, I think that may.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that was weird that it says that it didn't show all of them all together. That was a good call. Yeah. So yeah, all branches, There we go. Yeah, delete. Let's delete these. So we're done with them. So we delete them here, and you delete them on your computer also. But let me try to see if they automatically get deleted. So this is so git branch. So right now I have these branches here. If I do a git fetch -a, this should bring down all of the different branches. If I do git branch, yeah, it's still on my computer. It's not going to delete itself. So in order to delete it on your computer, you do git branch -D, and you paste the branch name that you want to delete. And since we're on the master branch, like you have to not be on that branch to delete it. You can't be on the same one. So I'm gonna delete setup also. So git branch -D setup to delete that. Now I only have master on here. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other engineer.
Question: what's the difference between fetch and pull?
So fetch, you know what, I think there's like, I think the last time I looked this up, there was like a minor difference, and I cannot remember the minor difference, but they seem to do the exact same thing. So with Git Pull, I don't think you can do this Git Pull -A thing, because yeah. So you're gonna do that with Git fetch. So maybe that's a difference. So Git fetch -A pulls down everything from online, and you can't do that with Git Pull. So maybe that's the only difference. But
I think the difference, Git fetch will get the changes, but it wouldn't merge it into your branch. But if you do a Git pull, it'll get the changes and merge it into your branch.
okay, yeah, that probably is it, because we actually had to tell it what to do also when we ran Git Pull. Where's that thing at? Up here somewhere. This, when we ran Git Pull, we set it up to merge it. Okay, yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Bio.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, let me delete these branches. So Git.
I was gonna ask one more question. I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I apologize.
Yeah.
But could you delete multiple branches at the same time? So does it work where you can put body creation and setup and delete both of them at the same time?
I'm not sure.
Or do you got to go one by one?
I feel like you should be able to delete them more than at the same. Let me actually test it. I'm going to create a test branch, and I'm going to create test 2 branch. So, and I'm going to switch into Git branch, switch back to master, Git checkout master, Git branch. Okay, there's changes in here. That's whenever you're trying to switch a branch, they don't let you switch if there's changes in them. Let me changes. Let me delete these. Support changes. Okay, I'm running into some issues in here. I think it's because I'm like, let me try it from the other side. I'm gonna try from this one. I think that one has a few issues. So Git branch. Check out -B test. Test 2. Git branch. Check out master. Now I'm on the master branch. I'll do Git branch -D test and test 2. Yeah, you can delete both of them. Yeah, yeah, perfect. All right, so it's 10. I mean, it's basically time. It's time now. I'll take one more question because I gotta have an appointment set up. I'll take one more question, and then we'll just call it. And then on Tuesday we're gonna run through JavaScript, like like pretty fast. So make sure everybody has those JavaScript sections done. So any other questions on Git?
Just had one question, if you could just recap the expectations for the project again. We've already started and got some good progress, but I just want to make sure we're in the right direction, going in the right direction.
Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to honestly make sure that the goal of the project was complete, which was for y'all to use Git to create this this thing together. Now, if y'all didn't do it as much, it's fine because we still had this session to learn it. But I wanted to make sure y'all actually work together to create something. And what y'all are creating is basically a landing page, some place to show like all of the projects that you created. Every time we create a project, you're going to add it to that page. So you can style it however you want. No real like requirements. I just want to make sure, you know, y'all have all your pictures up there. If not pictures, you can put your names up there. Like basically like who's on your team, and have like a project section for y'all to start adding projects to. And you don't have to have anything in your project section right now. You can just keep it blank. But I definitely want to make sure everybody's name is up there. Just kind of just make it look nice. No real requirements past that. So
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Just wanted to double check. Thank you.
yeah. All right. So I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Everybody should be done sections 1 through 5. And hopefully moving on to the project section, but definitely through 1 through 5. On Tuesday, we're going to do a quick recap of JavaScript, and I'll answer any questions and do any demonstrations for anybody that need them. And yeah, enjoy y'all Sunday. I'm on vacation. If y'all, my background is blurred. I'm in.
That's it.
There he go.
Yeah.
I saw your IG with the baked Alaska.
Yeah.
You out here big rolling.
Yeah. Enjoy that villa.
Right. And then happy super belated birthday.
Yeah. So yeah, this is. I had to take off the filter, but it looks really nice here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that first shot almost take you out, Isaiah.
that shot was crazy. I now I'm drinking it. Like I got used to it now. But yeah, it definitely took me out. I'll see everybody
We
on.
call that coach's shot.
Crazy. All right, see you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Leopard team, if y'all want, we can meet up. Now I'm gonna go straight to my room, so we can get that in.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you all.